The first atomic bomb was almost unearthly in its indiscriminate destructive power, for which there was no practical defense. The two superpowers evolved a new strategic doctrine called mutually assured destruction.
Mutually assured destruction implied that neither the United States nor the Soviet Union could risk a first strike because the retaliation would destroy the initial aggressor. Therefore, there would not be a hot war. The Cold War would have to stay cold.
I sent this dispatch rider to deliver an invitation to Country Gaines. He hasn't replied yet, but it hasn't been that long. So hopefully he will come on to the show, have a chat with us. And I sent it in the spirit of friendship, because I don't know the man, like, and he doesn't know us. Now, whether he responds or not is a different story. He may well just tell us to, go fuck off. But I'd like to think he has a sense of humor, and we'll come on the show and we'll have a chat with him. So for anybody who doesn't know, we were just taking the piss out of him and his channel because it came to our attention that he was being accused of content theft, which is a big enough thing in our kind of circles, because a lot of people kind of put in a lot of hard work, aren't really looking for money, mostly because there's not a lot of it there to begin with. But some people do make money. And I don't know how much money County Gaines channel makes. We did have a look at it last week, and it can be anywhere from $3,000 to $30,000 a month, depending on the metrics. And we don't know really how true that is. And that's not to say that just because you make money, you don't deserve to make money, because
absolutely,
obviously County Gaines puts a lot of work into his channel. He didn't get where he is by chance. And that should be acknowledged, and it should be rewarded. However, if it is a case that you're taking other people's content and you're not giving them credit for it, well, then it does cause an issue, because if it was any other industry, it would be a crime. You're taking somebody else's property, it's intellectual property, and you're using it to benefit financially. So if it's a case of his channel wasn't monetized, or any channel wasn't monetized, and given the nature of the material, which is, it's all essentially what's going on in Ireland, what the government is up to, the massive issues around living in a fucking hellhole, a totalitarian nightmare, and being flooded with immigrants. So people, I think the vast majority of people, if it wasn't for this, wouldn't probably be anywhere near YouTube or be streaming or going out on the streets and collecting material. It's because it's a present danger, and it's one of the most powerful tools out there to get the information out. And the argument's always made, well, it doesn't really matter as long as the information gets out there. And that's fine if your channel isn't monetized. But if your channel is monetized, well, then, at least to my mind, the least you can do is to credit those people. So that's what we want to talk about with County. Not to put it on him. It's just that he came across our or came into view. So we're just kind of using that as a test case. And then we got a threat. So we were a veil threat, which is the faggotiest kind of threat you can get. Like, it really fucking is. It's not good. But we can understand it may be just the rush of blood to the head, and a lot of excess testosterone flowing around the veins, something like that. And we did insult somebody's friend. So his right-hand man, his best friend, came to his aid, and essentially, threatened us with
violence,
which isn't great. But again, I can hold my hands up. I've threatened people with violence in similar, not similar situations, but in other situations, and I never really meant it or tried to follow through. I think it's a lot of bravado, and it would be kind of a bit silly to get into a scrap over someone just ribbing you about your belly, asking questions and just commenting on your channel, especially when your channel is in effect a reaction channel, or a large part of it is reaction videos. But times have changed, and now we're all kind of focused. I'm 6'10" and 800 pounds. Chris is 11 foot and 1.6 tons, trained in capoeira. Yeah, I'm 6'9" and I weigh 280 pounds, so I'll be able to handle myself. I think. But when you're that big and that heavy, you get tired very easy. So it might just be a case of we need to run around for a bit, tire them out, and then when they're exhausted, me and Howard just bored them to death slowly. I just talk to them for 7 or 8 hours and slowly grind them down. But still, it's not the great thing to do, to threaten somebody with violence. But ultimately, unfortunately, we still live in the world where it pretty much boils down to that, where that threat is valid and it can't be used. But if we get into that cycle, then it's okay. You might be able to beat me up physically because you're larger and stronger, but I can pick up a tool and I can, do something with that. And then it goes into all sorts of weird directions, and we don't want that. We really don't. But you can't just let the threat of violence go by and it's okay, well, let's not address this. And then beyond that, our channel received a strike, or I don't know what the fuck it is, strike, a warning, whatever.
Oh, it was a warning. Yeah.
So the video was taken down, and probably if you get another one, that's a strike, and then we get 2 more, we're done on this channel, which will probably happen eventually. But to have it happen like that would be fucking pathetic. I'd be very disappointed. I'd rather have the guards kick the door in, confiscate all the fucking and all that kind of crack. So again, it was just very coincidental that the right hand man, loses his shit, and then within a couple of hours later, the video's taken down. So then we put it to him. Did you do this? And then this, like, no, I didn't do this. And it may not be him, but it's very coincidental. But it may be one of the followers. And so all we were asking for is, okay, well, please say that you don't condone this kind of carry on. Because if we were the vindictive types, we could have your channel taken down in a day, really. All we'd have to do is go through your material, find something.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's done. But we don't want to engage in that, because that's pretty much what we're the antithesis of, is that type of carry on. And that's supposedly what we all get our knickers in a twist about with the so-called left, is that they use these tactics of, closing or shutting people down. And they're not in favor of free speech. Some topics are too dangerous to broach. And that's what we're against in relation to wokeism. But it goes both ways, because take woke out of the equation and it's human behavior. It's shitty human behavior, but a lot of human behavior is. And again, I think maybe they felt a little bit threatened, and so okay, well, this is it's some sort of defense.
We like to take the piss, man.
Yeah, and there's this. Sorry to interrupt you. There is this call for unity and everything like that. So, but part of camaraderie is the ability to be able to, take the piss out of each other, like, and especially amongst friends and comrades. It's and it's traditionally it's a way to weed out people. If you can't take a fucking joke, now we're not going to put your jocks over your head or fuck you in a river or something like that. Okay, yeah, I can't make this any bigger. It's just the way it was edited. Right, so we'll have a listen, and we'll pause it throughout. I'll try not to drag it on for 2 hours.
Okay.
I'll do my best, I promise.
Guess who was correct? County Gaines. That's why I stay the #1 non-biased, independent streamer, journalist in Ireland.
Yeah, I'll have to stop it there. That's a bit hard to take, especially for an Irish palate. Or maybe I'm wrong, but that's very American. I'm the biggest, the best, the baddest. And I don't know for a younger audience if that's appealing or not, but for someone my age and my background, that immediately kind of puts my back up. It's like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
it's us for at least the last 5-10 generations, because the thing is that if an Irishman ever did that, then he'd get shot, because you're not allowed to be a rebel or be a leader in any sense whatsoever. So you need to keep your head down. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but if something gives you the ick, You know, you can't change that about yourself. And it does signal this guy's different. He's not in our crew because he didn't get that memo, you know?
So that's it. Maybe it's a cultural thing. I don't know. Maybe it's gone now. I don't know. I don't have
Yeah.
a lot of contacts with younger people, which is why I think it'd be interesting for him to come on as well, because he is a younger guy, and you know, he is Irish, classes himself as Irish, and I'd like to hear what
Yeah.
younger Irish guys have to
Yeah, and I'd
have
like
say.
I'd like to hear him tell me what was this skibbity toilet thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we can figure that out. Yeah. My kids like that shit. It's fucking toxic horseshit. But anyway, what wasn't, there was enough toxic horseshit when I was a kid as well. And just rose tinted glasses, looking back. Oh well, the
Mhm.
cartoons in my day were higher grade.
Yeah,
Tom and
Jimmy
Jerry.
Savile on the TV. Oh.
Yeah. Please, mommy, can I write to Jimmy? No. Why? I don't know. It's just I get a weird vibe from him. Yeah, so that doesn't go down. And some people say, "Oh, it's begrudgery. That's why people don't like it." But I don't. I generally think Irish people still, on large, don't like the kind of braggadocious. And plus, it's not true.
You know what actually, you know what? We don't, when Conor McGregor says something about himself, we don't say, "Ah, ugh, yuck, stop it, get off it, will you?" Even now that he's like outed as this right wing guy and all that, you don't even see the left say that because he has earned his stripes.
Mm.
I think this is a part of it as well. It just clicked with me now. We are an honor culture. We're a tribal culture. You read the fucking mythological cycles of our people, and you have guys like fucking Cuchulainn and Lou going out there doing shit, and then they come back and say, "Yeah, I'm the fucking morning sun, bitch. What are you gonna do about it? I rock. I have all of these brilliant fucking skills, and I can kick your ass." And nobody thought, fuck off, Lou. They were like, Jesus, yeah, you know what? He's right. He's an amazing fella.
Yeah.
But you got to fucking earn it first.
Yeah. So you can't say that. They're most. Or how do we even measure the most independent journalist in Ireland? Then how are we classifying journalism as well? Like, so are we saying anyone who has with a camera and citizen journalists? I don't want to go down that route anyway. It's
well, like independent. I mean, we're the most independent because we don't even make money. We're not dependent on anyone. Actually, we have a radio station that we can go back to if we get put off of all of the fucking platforms, evrn.net, and that's never going to be taken off of the internet because I fucking own it. So I'm the most independent journalist in Ireland, huh? How do you like that?
Yeah, and that we have to compromise what we say when we come on YouTube as well. So even by being on YouTube, it compromises your independence. And that's the danger with monetization. And we every now and again we have conversations about, well, should we, shouldn't we, like, I don't know, and it's all over the place. But again, once you take the money, well, then you can, not that you necessarily do, but you can. And if you're making 30 grand a month, I'm not saying he is, but certain people do, that can be very fucking difficult to give up. Like, and it's very easy to be independent when you have nothing. But all of a sudden, if you're getting 30 grand a month, and then YouTube changes its terms and service, and you can say this and you can't talk about that, and and you get those strikes and warnings, well, then it will shape the conversation around that, and we even feel it, and we make fucking nothing. It's just the mere threat of, okay, we're going to take this medium away from you, and I'm sure it does. If not consciously, subconsciously, it's going to temper what you say and what you talk about.
Today we have a brand new video.
Look, whose country?
Look, it's our boys. It's our boys here, look. It's our boys.
Yeah, so there's our boys there. I feel a little bit better having seen this, like, because it's very effeminate, I have to say. Like, this kind of, are these ladies' clothes? Like
Hmm.
I don't know. This 3/4 length, and I think that is a boxing vest
Sure.
of some description. But this carry on, like this has to stop. It really has to stop. And the shorts as well. If you're over 12, you can't wear. That's how people used to know when someone was a child. They would still wear fucking
Right.
shorts, like And
Yeah.
then when you started becoming a man, you stopped wearing shorts. And I've seen guys in their 50s walking around wearing these shorts and 3/4 length
Mm.
shorts. It has to be stopped. It's an outrage. Like,
I don't know if it's like 40 degrees, you get a pass, But
maybe,
it's an overcast day there, it's not boiling like.
yeah, maybe I'm being too harsh. Yeah, or maybe I'm not comfortable with my own legs or something like that.
Actually, you know what? I remember, not that I went to Spain very often or any hot country very often, but the one time I did go to Spain, it was, hot enough where it was dangerous to be outside in midday.
Mm,
Like it was a health hazard to leave the house. Um, but nobody was walking around in shorts.
yeah,
I don't remember seeing shorts. So
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, and like, what the fuck is actually going on here? Like, it's like
Are-
he's he doing point for County Games. He's
yeah,
protecting them. Is they're
it
filming each other's phones at this stage?
Yeah,
Like, so,
that's very weird, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, they're almost holding hands when you look at it. Yeah,
yeah, and
that's weird, man.
embrace for a hug and a kiss. Now, we just have to say, please don't get so upset. If anyone's listening who's a County Games fan, please don't report us to YouTube for, you know, hate crime of some description because they said it looks like they may hug or kiss. But it is very, very strange. So I suppose 420 he is questioning, so maybe they feel
Mm,
threatened. I don't know. But it's an odd way to be kind of roaming around. It reminds me of, like,
mm,
if a politician, um, very important politicians arrive
mm.
on the scene, and then they have a bodyguard, and the
Yeah,
bodyguard's kind of,
Secret Service.
yeah,
Yeah.
scouting around, making sure there's nobody hiding in the
Mm,
bushes or a sneak attack. No one's got a weapon.
mm.
There's our boys.
Wait, is he just filming for fucking County Gaines' phone? Like that's just they're both facing in the same direction, and his friend there, don't know
Yeah,
who it is filming his phone. Like, how does that make sense? What's going on? I don't get it at all.
I don't get it either. Again, unless it's just because he now feels uncomfortable because this guy is not even looking at his phone. He seems to be
Mhm.
looking at 420 and trying to pretend he's not there at the same time. So, I don't know if he felt threatened by
Mhm.
420 or what the deal was happening. But I think this is the first time they've showed up at an event. Um, so I don't know. Maybe they're feeling uncomfortable. But it's very odd, like, because
Mm.
County Gaines is, he has his phone pointed at the front of the protest. I don't know what this guy's doing with his phone at all.
Yeah, and sorry, for the record, just to, make it clear. Sometimes, well, many times, I do hug my male friends. There's nothing weird about that.
Mm,
You're
yeah,
allowed to hug other men.
yeah.
That doesn't make you gay.
Yeah, you just have to be, wearing trousers.
Yeah,
Short,
otherwise it gets weird.
yeah, skin, like, come on.
Yeah,
Uh,
no skin, no.
you have to be fully clothed, three-piece suit, top hat,
Yeah.
and thick woolly gloves on. So
Like, I remember one day I hugged my male friend and our head skin touched, and it took me weeks to get over it.
yeah. All right. Ew. Some soft music start playing. Your eyes locked. Yeah. Look at that. That's not good form right there. He needs to be behind him, guiding him. Because I've watched
Yeah,
this a few times, and he's going to walk into that fucking lamppost.
yeah.
Oh, close call.
Oh, but isn't there another time where he almost
Oh yeah,
walked
there's
back?
there's,
Yeah,
there's more, like, so.
yeah.
Yeah, and I have to say that the gait of the walk as well. I think he's been out of the gym. It's just very heavy footed.
Mm.
Yeah, so maybe. And look at that look there. That's a kind of.
Hmm.
It's a who the fuck are you and what are you
Mm.
doing? And yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because it is weird behavior 420 is doing here. It's not normal.
No, it can be very unsettling to have somebody come up to you and kind of bustle you and start asking questions. But no better man.
Yeah, I'd really like to ask the guy.
Country Grams, is it? Country Grams. Country Grams. You mess around with the anti-broadcast.
So which?
He's got the anti-broadcast banned there tonight. Who? The anti-broadcast. Lads.
We didn't report
Yeah, they're not in.
So he said he's feigning ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
The who, the
Mm-hmm.
what, and his friend here, his right hand man, said they didn't report us.
Right.
We have that, at least he's saying, but he said that already, didn't he, in the comments, that like
Sure. Yeah.
it wasn't him. Now,
Well,
unfortunately, we've no way to know.
hang on. No, actually, he didn't deny it in the comments. No,
yeah.
that's the two things he didn't deny in the comments was that he reported. All he wanted to do was say, "I didn't threaten you. I swear to God, you're not. You're safe for me. There's no risk of you getting harmed," because he realized that. Oh, not only did he threaten me with violence, but he repeated that threat of violence, and then after that repeat, then threatened with violence again. So I think he knew he was fucked there. So the only two things that he didn't deny from me is that he reported the video and that he's actually County Gains himself. Some people think that was a sock puppet account, but no, that's actually that dude's account.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that maybe he gave County Gains his phone to reply to me because it was in that chat, YouTube comment thread. I directed my comment to him in a conciliatory way, and then this dude's account replies to me. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
The free speech. Lads are not into free speech.
We didn't report him, I swear on my life.
Come on out of that, buddy. Come on out of that, will you? Yeah, come on, Joe, come on, your boy 420, you're stealing my content as well. Come on, go, County Games. You got Country Grams here. He's going to say if you got the lads banned or not. This is his mate who was threatening. You were the lad who was getting in the chat with you.
I didn't get him banned. I didn't report his channel.
That's good to hear that, because we all believe in free speech.
We're free to-
We all believe in free speech.
Absolutely.
Good man yourself. Good man.
Okay. The free speech.
Free speech, absolutely.
Absolutists. Okay.
All right.
Okay, we'll find out about that. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, that flag of Jesus has me thrown there. That's a massive flag of Jesus.
Yeah, it's a proper fucking icon. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Well, then he's saying they're free speech absolutists. That's good to hear. A lot of people say that, but when put to the test, it's there's normally caveats somewhere along the fucking line. I've listened to Niall Boylan long enough to hear many people say they're free speech absolutists, except for excluding this, that, and the other. So right, we know free speech absolutists. That's good.
Yeah, look, I'm seeing comments like only in it for the money in the chat. And look, we don't know that. We really don't know that. People can make mistakes and do funny things because they don't know what to do. This is a brave new world. This is new for us, even for a younger man like him.
Yeah.
So withhold judgment here, guys.
Yeah, and I would be at that as well. Like, so I get very kind of skittish around money, almost allergic to it. Maybe it's an Irish thing as well. That if somebody is making any money from something like this, well, then to me, it's a red flag. It's like you shouldn't be making any money, and if you are making money, you should be giving it to the movement. But movements do need money. Unfortunately, they do. But whether county is involved in the movement, I don't even know what the movement fucking is, because there's no one unified
No.
movement, and everybody asks for money in some way, shape, or form. Through their own channels, donate to the cause. Then you have other people like Niall McConnell, buy his annual membership for €40 and get a flag and a proclamation and all this kind of shit. So a lot of people are at it, and you can argue either way. Okay, well, people do need money if they're going to grow it, but some people will see it purely as, okay, this is an opportunity to grift, and I can make money from it. Maybe not so much from Irish people. I think Irish people are very weary and skeptical and cynical around any fucker who's trying to make a penny from
Yeah,
them.
we're tight,
Yeah.
We're Jews, yeah.
But there is a big American audience out there and a big Irish American audience as well, who I think when they look at Ireland, they have an affinity towards Ireland, and they know it's not like they can fucking drop everything and come over here and help out. So the easiest thing they can do is to donate money. And I don't know if he accepts donations. We haven't looked at Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee or any of that kind of shit. But YouTube, you kind of, I don't know. I haven't really looked at much of his videos, so I don't even know if his channel is if there's adverts on there or not. I don't really know. But I think there's maybe very few people out there who aren't monetized in some way from YouTube, and that's kind of part of the deal, that YouTube, they make more money than anybody fucking else. So in that sense, we're all a bit dopey, really. We're all working we're all YouTube slaves, we're out there breaking our balls.
Yeah.
Have them make an absolute fortune. But it is what it is. It's the largest platform out there. If you want the message to get out there, well, then there's nowhere. There's other places you can go, but the reach is tiny by comparison.
Nothing compared to it. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, now to bring up the subject of money, I'm thinking of e-begging tonight because I need help. On next Friday, there won't be a show unless Morgan decides to do it. My cousin is getting married, and I need help buying pints. If I post my Buy Me a Coffee link in the chat, will anyone throw me money?
Buy me a pint.
Yeah, buy me a pint.
Yeah, here we are, bemoaning the fact that people are begging. Begging. Yeah, and I don't think Jesus. Is there anything in the Bible about Jesus begging? I don't think he ever asked for any. But he, had fucking. It's God you're dealing with, like, so you can turn water into wine, you can turn leaves into money. But most people need money, and again, it is a career, content creation. So people will make money from it and will continue to make money from it. But the big issue is when you mix it with something as important as the future of a country. Well, it can cloud everything, like if you're seen to be making a penny. And so where does your loyalty really lie? Especially if you're not, turning up at these protests on a regular basis. And to my mind, I don't think you should have to, but it does raise questions, Right, we'll carry on.
Okay. So there could be peace here between county games and the lads. But maybe we'll have a think about it. You might go on his podcast next week and explain. We'll put a link in the chat next week. You might go on his podcast and explain. Yeah, good man.
Okay, so that was an agreement there. Absolutely, he's agreed to come on the podcast. I didn't really catch that the first time I watched it. So 420 put the invite out there for us. He said absolutely twice. He said yes, so I think that's a legal contract in my mind. This is a Christian guy as well. So okay, so we can say that they should be good for the word. And the invitation has gone out personally from ourselves as well, so there's no reason why they shouldn't come on the show. I did invite County, but that invitation obviously extends to his friend / workout partner to come on as well. That's nice to know.
What I want to say as well is the divisiveness. We should all be on the same team here, guys.
There you go now, brother. There you go now.
Okay, so about divisiveness, we should all be on the same team. I get that. I think we are. But I think kind of what gets confused in that is that everybody should, have a hive mind, and nobody should be able to, say anything about other people because it causes division. But there's no real unity to fucking begin with. It's not like there was this amorphous nationalist movement at the start, and there's been 100 break-offs. It's just a bunch of fucking random people, mostly, who find themselves in dire straits. There's no leadership out there that, at least that I can fucking see. There's no great charismatic leader that everybody can get behind, or no great party. So people have said, fuck it. In the absence of anybody else being there, we're going to have to do it ourselves. And then there's some people, again, there's accusations. Well, when somebody does get popular, well, then, they're a shill or they're a plant. And, there's plenty of that. And there always will be. And there should be, because it's very difficult to trust anybody, especially when your country's essentially been a political cesspit for the last, 1,000 years. Probably since fucking existence. So it's understandable that people would have questions and doubts, but with this, it's kind of, the nationalist movement, the fight for Ireland and the recovery of the country will continue, irrespective of, if County Gaines makes money, if we, take the piss out of him, if he takes content of other people's content gets taken and they get their nose put out a joint. But these are simple things. And if you want unity, and if you want to get rid of divisiveness, well, to my mind, the only way to do that is to fucking talk about it. Because these are issues. They're not the greatest issues in the world by any stretch of the imagination. And, people would be right to say they're mere childish distractions. But, we're all fucking children, really. And these are the things that do distract us and do cause strife. So really, come on, let's talk about it, not just as it relates to you, but to every fucking body. Because then we can get it out in the open. We can talk about it. Maybe we can put together some simplistic charter about content use and what's the best way to go around it. And we can get on with it, because there's a lot of people out there, and especially if you are taking their material, because it has to be stated again, without it, you've got nothing. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for this handful of maybe 20 or 30 people who've been doing it, for the last couple of years, and people who've been doing it more recently, there is nothing to react to. There's essentially radio fucking silence. You've got the Irish Times, the mainstream media to look at. Beyond that, nothing. You've got maybe 2-3 independent journalists, grip media, and that's it. And most of their stuff, again, and most of the bigger accounts on X as well, it's because of the legwork of smaller fucking people who will never get any, real recognition. And there's a snobbishness around it as well. Because a lot of the guys that are doing it come from working class areas, and they're rougher than the average middle class person, and they don't put up with shit. So what you're getting is kind of raw, unfiltered footage of what's happening, especially in Dublin and other areas around the country. And if it wasn't for that, nobody would be any the wiser, really, and we'd still be kind of trundling along at a very fucking slow pace,
You're using people's content. Put their name in the description, yeah? Good man. County Gaines has said he will go on the anti-broadcast next week. He will explain what he thinks of free speech and stealing content from nationalists who travel around the country all the time, making content, spending their own money while he sits at home stealing everyone else's content. So hopefully he may have learned his lesson after this one. We're hoping. And guys, country grounds is the time. There's country grounds. There's the man himself, look. He's down for his 5-minute walk, get a bit of content. So this is the first bit of content he's ever made on his own, I think. Because he normally just takes everyone else's and doesn't give them credit. And of course, we've no problem with things like that on 420 Odd Urban Guys. But it's all about giving accreditation.
Yeah, he's going to walk into the tree. And again, I think he must be of the mind that 420 is going to attack him. Like, there's really no reason to be walking backwards like that unless you're a fucking bodyguard. Like, and
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, no. There's nothing else that could be happening here. Like nobody goes like that. No. You would walk for a bit, and you would stop, and film as the march approaches you, or you'd get some fucking equipment and hold it up on a stick, and then walk facing the direction you're walking in.
yeah,
But to the Hammer, everything looks like a nail. So he threatens violence. He expects violence.
yeah, oh yeah, it's very true.
Paul, Nolan, Paul Nolan, yeah, Mousy, Tinker, and lots of others who are walking all over the city, taking pictures of these mad fuckers on the streets who are trying to harm us and harm the guards.
Another three.
And it's
Like,
all about
oh!
accreditation.
He must have
It's all
busted it
about
out.
giving accreditation. It's what it is, lads. We don't mind that all this stuff gets shared about by monetised channels like County Gains and Marcus and others. But all we ask for is that they put a little bit of credit in the description. This video was shot by this person. This video was shot by that person.
Sorry. Excuse me. I'm disappointed in Mark Yush. Yush, sorry. He started off so well, I think he should just go back to doing what made him big.
Okay, well, what's the disappointment around? What does he start doing, or?
Well, like
Change?
420 is saying, he steals content as well. I mean,
right.
that's what 420 says. I haven't looked at his channel in a while, and maybe that's it. Maybe the glow kind of left his channel, and he thought, well, what can I do to beef things up? I'll take someone else's content and I'll post it as my own. But he used to go out there and do really good work on the ground in Dublin and further afield. And I guess he just stopped doing that, which is very disappointing,
All right, okay.
So check it out, the anti-broadcast. So County Games might be there Friday night. He's going to be there Friday night. Will you come on the podcast Friday, will you?
I'm not going to podcast, brother.
Come on the podcast.
Ah, there it is. He's not going on now.
Oh, okay. That's a shame.
Yeah. That's disappointing.
Yeah. Because we're not going to bite,
I suppose, well, no, I don't suppose. I was going to make an excuse saying, yeah, well, I can understand, like most people wouldn't, because it's kind of it's strange territory, and then you've got people looking at you, and it's quite nervy, and it's not natural, and it's uncomfortable. What the fuck is a YouTuber like? So he's sitting there. Granted, it's pre-recorded. I don't know if he does.
But he's done live streams,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't do that really. Well, you can just say flat out, say fucking no, or go fuck yourself, or ignore it. But then you can only have the vision if you're not willing to talk to people, And what can happen by talking? It's like, okay, we reach an agreement. We have some terrible blow up, which I can't really see happening, because we've only got really, two issues. One, do you actually support free speech, and will you dissuade your subscribers and viewers from doing something silly like reporting a channel because whatever? And then, do you acknowledge the work of the other people whose material you're using? And it may be the case where he'll come on and say, look, I do. And here's, example X, Y, and Z, and it's an oversight that he hasn't done it. But there are enough people saying it, and really I should do more due diligence and look through his channel at length to see exactly what's going on there. But again, they're small enough issues. But if you're going to have unity or camaraderie between differing movements or segments or cells, whatever the fuck you want to,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, well, then there has to be dialogue, you know. But you don't have to talk. But if somebody fucking called me out for, listen, you got my channel banned, or you got that video taken down, or I have this issue with you, or whatever, I would go on. Even if I did it and I was denying it, I would still fucking go on to defend myself or to try and clear
Yeah,
it up, you know?
if you truly believed in what you're doing, in the
Mm,
cause, you know, yeah, because you're on the mission,
yeah.
you know,
And it,
you're singularly focused on that. But you know, if your plan is to make money, best not draw attention to the thing that is making you money that maybe on the up and up.
yeah, I see, yeah. But you see, I think if he's going to do that, he's looking at it wrong because really, especially in an Irish context, honor means a lot.
Mm,
And if that's brought into the question, well, then you may as well be fucking done, you know. And
mm,
granted, we're, you know, a very small channel, but with some influential viewers and subscribers, you know. And his
mhm.
channel, you know, it's more successful than ours, especially subscriber wise, but the numbers aren't spectacular, and that's not a slower on him. That's just
Mhm.
an objective fact. They're not.
Yeah.
They're
Mm.
really fucking not. And if you are interested in the kind of broader movement of things, well, then I think it would be wise to come on, just have a chat,
Yeah.
so we can get to kind of know each other. And they're into fitness as well, which is very fucking important because it's one of the things I've you know neglected horribly in my life, and I think a lot of Irish people
Yeah.
do is fitness. And if we're going to get ourselves out of this, and especially for younger lads, well, then they need to be fucking
Yeah.
fit, you know. So you should really, to my mind, if you have that skill out there, you know, make that
Mhm.
available to people. Obviously, make some money from it too,
Yep.
but you
Absolutely.
know, push that message that yes, young lads have to get fit.
Mm.
It's a very important part of manhood and womanhood for that matter. But to be able to be fit and to be able to
Mhm.
defend yourself, and especially your mate who's a fucking boxer as well, like so,
Mm.
and especially if you're gonna, you know, go straight to threats of violence as well. So maybe we can do that. Maybe we can have a scrap if you want. But before
Yeah.
that, we'll do tiddlywinks first. Then maybe a spelling test, some sort of intellectual challenge, and then finally, man on man, naked, oiled up wrestling. Go Greek style, old style Greek wrestling. Okay, so the invitation has
Hmm.
gone out. Big thanks to the 420 for doing that for us. It's very much appreciated, and he's been a very big supporter
Hmm.
of the channel, so we'll always be
Hmm.
very thankful for that. But we
Yeah.
need to hear from County fucking Gaines.
Hmm.
And like I don't know if you heard, so I said the invitation went out. If he doesn't respond, we're not going to chase and harass him.
No.
Be very disappointing if he doesn't respond. Well, then to my mind, it's a nail in the
Mhm.
coffin, you know. And you know, there's worse things than being talked about, as Oscar Wilde said, and that's not being fucking talked about.